Hey there, Patriots. This is True Outlaw Patriot coming at you with another one. The video that I'm putting out tonight is going to be a little different. Well, not so much different, but I'm going to put this video out to focus on one of mainstream media's biggest talking heads, okay, when it comes to things like disinformation, racism, sexism, whatever isms you could think about, okay, this would be the woman, the person, okay, that basically does the bidding when it comes to putting out, definitely not journalism, okay, but basically puts out so many falsities, okay, out into the airwaves that if it was a crime, which it should be, because a lot of people are getting a lot of false information by people like her, and committing crimes because they just keep on with this rhetoric of hate and lies. If it was a crime, like I said, which it should be, in my opinion, she'd probably be doing like three life sentences back to back. Okay? Because, you know, I understand that all's fair in love and war. Just, you know, using that analogy when it comes to politics, there's, you know, you're trying to get more people on your side. But I always understood the fact that, you know what, when it comes to the Democrat Party, being born and raised in the Bronx, it's basically, they are basically, I should say, what everybody's been seeing, and a lot more people have been making choices on that and leaving. They haven't changed. Okay, if anybody who's watching this now didn't watch my video last night, go ahead and watch it. You'll see more of what I'm talking about. Okay, if anybody's been watching any of my content that's not part of the channel, you'll see that the content that I put out, it always shows the contradictions and the lies of the Democrats, and it's not stuff that's edited, okay, like certain leftist news outlets, I should say all the news outlets, content creators, all the leftist content creators on any social media platform, how they like to edit video and put it out as something that it's not. Case in point, like what Trump had said on January 6th, they still keep trying to edit it, making it seem as if he made people go out there, okay, and just deliberately try to hurt people and break into the Capitol, when all the information that's coming out, that has come out and is still coming out, totally contradicts that. And it's showing, okay, that not only was all that video edited, but that there were inside actors that were sent by the government, okay, to go and start a ruckus, okay, that made the January 6th protest get out of control. Okay, that's just one of the things. Another thing is that you'll see in this video, I only watched some of it. We're gonna watch all of it in its entirety together, and I'll put my thoughts into it. The one piece in here is that she tries to use Kamala Harris, who's supposed to have a rally in Erie, Pennsylvania, I think sometime tonight or whatever the case is, or was it last night? Because I believe this video came out less than a day ago, like 20 hours ago. Where Kamala Harris is trying to make it seem as if Donald Trump is trying, okay, to capitalize off the Hurricane Helene in the Carolinas and Hurricane Milton. And it's like, where do you come up with that? Because all Donald Trump did, okay, was show his support for the victims in Hurricane Helene, okay. I don't know if he's done anything for the people in Florida, but who was the one that has been trying to call up DeSantis, knowing very well that the president of the United States, which is Joe Biden, sadly, has been dealing with Ron DeSantis, and she's trying to stick her nose into it, something that's none of her business, okay, as far as like taking control of the situation. But yet she's still going to come out and talk to the people in Pennsylvania and just keep this narrative going the way the mainstream media, the Democrats, people on the left, content creators, women, you know, people like this woman right here, who they just keep a lying narrative going, okay, and in full panic mode, okay, in my opinion, because they know that they're losing in the polls. Everything they were talking about, that Kamala Harris is up, that she's beating Trump, now they're realizing that their lie has gotten so big that that bubble is deflating on its own, because no matter how much they try to lie, and they're trying to lie in the polls, okay, there are more and more people putting out content showing that in nearly all the blue states and cities, okay, all around the country, more and more black people and Latino people from the left are saying, we're done with this. We are voting red. We are voting for Trump. We are done with the lies. Okay? So this woman's going to come out, and it's going to be a lot to dissect. Trust me. It's a lot of garbage coming out of her mouth. But, I mean, you know, her mouth is big enough. You know, she knows how much she gets paid. Okay? But the one thing that I hope that whoever watches this, okay, especially if you're American, black, and Latino, that you'll see how the Democrats love to eat themselves. Okay, this woman now, she will basically say, and you'll hear it from her mouth, not mine, it's not going to be edited, that she's basically calling the blacks and Latinos that are voting for Trump fascist. Okay. And I think it's totally disgusting the way the Democrats keep talking about unity and keep saying that they're the party for the people and for the middle class and for the so-called minorities, but yet if you don't align with them, they just can't leave it alone. No, they have to go and label you something as disgusting as a damn fascist. Okay? It's bad enough that you put the guilt trip on the white people in society. Now you're trying to put the guilt trip on blacks and Latinos, Asians, whoever it is that does not want to be part, okay, of the Democrat socialist regime any longer. Now it's a problem. Now you have to go, and all you're doing, in all honesty, by going and doing this, all you are doing is pushing more people away from your party, okay, and joining either the Independent Party or the Republican Party. So kudos to you, because you're basically spewing out so much hate, division, okay, that it's actually opening up people's eyes. The Democrats keep talking about that Donald Trump has everybody blinded. Open your eyes. They are opening up their eyes. You people need to open your eyes. You people need to see what it is you're doing that's driving away people from your party who are fed up with your wicked, evil, demonic agenda. Okay? So, with that being said, we're going to get into this. I'm going to go along with it and leave my thoughts and my comments. Listen to what this woman has to say. Here we go.
But we begin tonight with 21 days, 23 hours, and 59 minutes left until polls begin to close on election night.
Well, she knows how to keep time. That's a good start.
And if anything could possibly be a metaphor for our troubled times, it might be the scene of Trump fans who came to a rally in the Coachella Valley in California on Saturday, not typical MAGA country, and got literally stranded. According to the mayor's office, there were not enough buses to take them back to their cars.
Okay. Now, it's funny, and I'm just, like I said, I'm going to go along with this, okay, people? It's funny how she's going to make fun of that, which, in all honesty, I mean, it's neither here nor there for me, okay? But she's trying to make it seem as if, oh, it's an embarrassing moment. Whatever it is that's going on in her puny little brain, that her big, walrus freaking mouth can spit out, okay? Let's just put it this way. Joy Reid. You know, these were people that came in their own cars, parked, got bused to the convention, to the rally, whatever it was, and obviously they didn't have enough buses to bring them back, but they found their way back. But at least these were real people going, okay, to a Trump rally, not being paid off like the fake people that Kamala Harris keeps busing in and kicking people out of restaurants, regular people, or wherever it is that she needs to go in order to do an optic, okay, photo shoot. Okay, at least the people that went to the Trump rally are real American citizens, not paid off actors. But this is how we're going to start this. Let's continue.
I myself am just back from Jamaica and Ghana. Many thanks to Katie Fang and Jason Johnson for holding it down while I was away. One good thing about travel is the perspective that you gain from the people you talk to and from watching international news on how the rest of the world sees us. And what I can tell you from this recent trip is that, yeah, we're not looking too great right now.
Yeah, no shit. And whose fault is that? Look at the smug look on her face. Yeah, we're not looking too good right now. And where she's going to come off with this is the beginning of her meltdown. Okay? She knows why we're not looking too good right now. Okay? But all of a sudden, she's going to spin it around like they always do and blame it all on Trump. Nothing to do with Joe Biden's policies, nothing to do with Kamala Harris's policies, nothing to do with all the indoctrination that the Democrats have been pushing out, nothing to do with the vilification of parents against their children, the vilification of having the Lord Jesus Christ's name saying, or taking God out the equation in school and in other public places. Nothing to do with that what the Democrats are doing. No. She's going to try to spin this all around because we're not looking too good. Well, guess what? No shit, Joy Reid. And this has nothing to do, okay, with the Republicans. This has everything to do with your party and the rhinos. Let's continue.
In both countries, my husband Jason and I got multiple earfuls, best summarized as, what in the hell is going on with America? People were genuinely shocked that a geriatric, possibly senile, convicted felon.
I love the way she describes Trump. A geriatric, listen to it again. Now, these are the people that talk about that you can't insult them. These are the people that expect Donald Trump to always stay quiet every time they go and they attack him in every wicked way possible. These are the people that even go after his supporters, okay, in every way possible. Even their supporters going after people on the right. But they expect everybody to just stay shut, to not come back, okay, with a pickup line, okay, with something to come out and say, you know what, no, this is not, you're not going to have the last word. You snap on me, I'm going to snap on you. You bark at me, I'm going to bark at you. Now, I know that some people don't like that kind of tone. I get it. Not everybody, in my opinion, I don't think anybody should be acting that way, okay? But yet, you have a man like Biden, not saying that he's senile, okay, not saying that. Do I believe that he's in a mental decline? Absolutely. Everything shows it. The Democrat Party proved it by ousting him, okay, by launching a coup against him, by this woman right here and her overlords and the powers that be. But Donald Trump, okay, is the senile one that's in mental decline. Listen to the way she describes him again. I mean, and this is why so many people on her side of the aisle, okay, are leaving the party because they're like, all you have, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, okay, where the right has proof and brings receipts and the left winds up just making videos or leaving messages and they don't delete it, all they have are words. Words that they want people to believe, but you have no proof of the stuff that you claim. Whereas people on the right find the proof of what's going on the left, and they'll double down, triple down, quadruple down and say, that wasn't me. Basically, that's what they're saying. That wasn't me. That was taken out of context. oh no, you got it all wrong. You can play a video by any one of them from beginning to end, no editing, and they will still come out and say that that's all false information. As a matter of fact, I made a video about a month ago, maybe a little over that, where now the left is trying to claim that any kind of gaffes that Biden has had, wherever he tripped or mumbled his words, all that is AI generated, it's all edited. When half that stuff, if not all of it, has been recorded real time, and this man is mumbling over his words, now they're trying to say that it's people on the right editing footage like that. You just can't make this up. Let's go.
People were genuinely shocked that a geriatric, possibly senile convicted felon, people literally mentioned the 34 counts.
You know, if she would have just said senile convicted felon, that's okay. You want to get away with that? That's fine. But then she goes and throws in geriatric. So she's actually insulting older people. Just so you people could keep that in mind.
Is in a near dead heat with Vice President Kamala Harris, particularly as Donald Trump, whose own former Joint Chiefs of Staff Chair Mark Milley called fascist to the core, closes his campaign with what can only be described as a mix of incoherent rambling and straight up Nazism.
Yeah, you're talking about the man who's gotten more heat, okay, for his line. He's gotten more heat for the debacle of Afghanistan. He's gotten more heat, okay, from people in the military. Okay, he basically was a traitor to Trump, nothing but a leftist implant. Okay, and you expect people to believe this man when he was nothing? In my opinion, I'm just saying, when he was nothing but, from what anybody could probably see and say, you know what, if I was looking from the outside in, he seems more like a double agent. You want people to believe him? Yeah, okay.
One of the papers said on another country that we are an occupied country, and you know what? They're not that wrong. These are among the worst criminals anywhere in the world, and they come from all over. A huge number is coming out of jails in the Congo. We will defend our civilization. We will not be conquered. We will not be occupied. We will not be invaded. I will rescue California and every town across America that's been invaded and conquered. And we will put these vicious and bloodthirsty criminals in jail or kick them the hell out of the country.
There's all.
Okay, so before she wants to continue her yammering, basically what she basically did, and you'll see as we go along, she's basically making another Trump ad campaign to show all the crookedness and all the corruption coming from the left. Because anybody that has been watching Trump, when they watch these clips, they know that he is talking about the illegal criminals that are being let out of prison, that are part of gangs, and let out of prisons, part of gangs, let out of institutions and all that they're letting into the country. They you know, using this woman to try to turn this whole narrative around it's definitely the left's worst mistake, but it definitely works in favor of Trump and his supporters. Let's continue.
Also, the equally Hitlerian rhetoric that he used to describe American citizens and what might happen on Election Day.
I think the bigger problem are the people from within. We have some very bad people. We have some sick people, radical left lunatics. And I think they're the big, and it should be very easily handled by, if necessary, by National Guard, or if really necessary, by the military, because they can't let that happen.
Okay, so where's the lie, Joy Reid? You're a news anchor. You're a journalist. How many people from the left have gone and attacked people from the right, killed them, attacked them, stabbed them? I mean, all kinds of crazy stuff. How many people on the left have gone and tried to take out Trump? While you people try to spin this narrative around. But keep talking, because all you're doing is helping more people realize, and I'll be honest, I pray that I get 10, 20,000 views on this video, and most of those views are people from the left, so that are looking for something to finally say, you know what, I need one more video in order to change my mind to leave the left, and I hope this is that video. you're doing your side no favors.
On the other hand, Vice President Kamala Harris responds the way a normal campaign would, accurately warning voters of the dangers of Trump.
I love the way she spins that around. Listen to the way she says it again. And we all know Kamala is definitely not on the up and up, but I love the way she says it.
Responds the way a normal campaign would,
the way
accurately warning voters of the dangers of Trump.
Accurately warning voters of the dangers of Trump. Right.
We can already see the harm he's up to as a candidate. Most recently, spreading disinformation in the wake of natural disasters. Blocking real solutions that would stop drug cartels from crossing the border when he tried to kill and did that border security deal.
You know, that right there in itself is another lie, okay? First of all, what she's talking about the hurricane victims, the news is out. The videos are out. More and more video is coming out, okay, of people on the ground, victims, okay, family members of victims that are speaking out. This has nothing to do with Trump. He's just putting it out there. Okay, that's number one. Number two, this whole thing about that he is over here blocking a border bill. Who the hell is the president and vice president? Any little thing for them to point the finger because they know that they're not doing what they say they're doing. All they're doing is lying to the American people, to their own constituents. They want to pin it on Trump. But who is the president? Joe Biden is the president. You are the vice president. If she would come out and said that, Trump tried to kill a bill or speak to other people in Congress to try to kill it, but we stopped them. We went ahead, we shut down the border, and we're deporting all the criminals. Then I could say, you know what? Okay, you have an argument there. Not bad. But it's not even like that. They've passed no bill because they won't pass the bill. Okay? Donald Trump didn't need Congress to get permission from Congress to do what he did with the border. But it's funny how the Democrats keep trying to blame the fact that because they don't want to shut the border. Okay? That is the real truth. They don't want to shut it down. So in order to make people believe that, oh, we're trying, but Trump stopped it, they're going to come out and say that he got in the middle of a bill and he shot it down. Once again, who is the president and who is the vice president? Because it ain't Trump and Vance. It ain't Trump and Pence. But because you people are up to no good with your nefarious ways, you know that your policies have gotten people killed, literally, innocent people, okay? Innocent people raped, robbed, okay? I mean, homes broken into, property stolen, you name it, they're doing it. Whose fault is that? Before this bill that they're talking about that Trump supposedly got in the way and blocked, that was recent. What's the excuse on day one when Joe Biden, okay, basically got rid of all of Trump's border bill policies? It's funny how he had the power to do that, but when they ask him, you do have the power to put those policies back, nope, everything's an excuse. Everything is Trump's fault. But you got rid of the bills. Trump put the policies in, Biden took the policies out. And with all the chaos, and they know that they're losing their constituents, en masse, mind you, they want to spin it around and make it seem like it's all Trump's fault. Once again, let's go.
Because you see, Donald Trump cares more about scaring people,
right,
creating fear,
right,
running on a problem,
right,
instead of what real leaders do, which is to participate in fixing problems.
Really?
Vice President Harris will have more to say later this hour as we take her speech live from Erie, Pennsylvania.
That's good.
But if it makes no sense to you that a man who vows to march non-white immigrants into U.S. concentration camps at gunpoint then mass deport them,
right,
while calling these immigrants vermin, diseased criminals, murderers, cat eaters, and cannibals.
And where is he wrong on that? You see, this is what I'm saying, that Joy Reid over here, okay, with the 2 brain cells that she probably has in her whole giant freaking skull, thinks that Trump is talking about rounding up every single illegal, and he said that he's going to do that, but that what she's trying to conflate the words that he was using against the criminals, the drug dealers, the gang members, the rapists, the murderers. That's who he directed those labels to, and he's still directing labels like that to those criminals. But she wants to make it seem, and we all know this, okay, that he's trying to label every single one of them like that. No, he said that he will have a mass deportation campaign, meaning anybody that came into the country illegally, he will deport them. The ones that he came out and called vermin and murderers and rapists and cat eaters, those are the ones that did that. Okay? As a matter of fact, there is a video that's going viral. Okay? Look it up because you'll find it. Where a man from, he's Haitian, American. His brother, him and his brother are American. Their cousin or nephew came into the country legally, I believe he said, and is working on his citizenship, okay? And they're asking him, and it's on video, what does he think about what Donald Trump said? And he has stated clearly, okay, that in Haiti, there are places where they have open markets where people do buy cats and eat cats, not dogs. So Trump was wrong on that, exaggerating. I get it, fine. That's okay. But it is a known fact, and he's saying that in Haiti, a lot of people, they go to the market and they have these markets where they buy cats. Just like anybody will go and buy chicken. Those are his words. Okay, as a matter of fact, he said that he has had it before. And that some people may look at it like it's weird, but in Haiti, it's not. And in all honesty, if we want to dive deeper into it, okay, and this is not going to be a knock on the Asian people, we know for a fact that these are practices that they also have in Asia, where they have dog markets and cat markets, and they also eat rabbit, and you know what I'm saying? But for Donald Trump, the reason why he said it was because of what is going on in Springfield, Ohio, where people are claiming, the residents, okay, and there's video out there of certain people butchering animals out on lawns, on the grass in parks, and people are looking at it like, people on the left, I should say, as don't believe your lying eyes. These are all lies by Trump. Trump didn't just come out, okay, and start this. The people that came out and started saying this are the people from Springfield, Ohio. It wasn't Trump.
While also vowing to turn American police into death squads.
Here we go.
And telling his voters that they don't have to vote anymore after he wins. If you are...
Okay, first of all, he never told his voters you don't have to vote anymore after he wins. Okay? Another disinformation. Okay? He made that comment, okay, to a group of religious people, okay, and supposedly they didn't vote a certain way, okay, and he came out and told them, and it's on video again, you'll find it if you look for it, where he told them, if you just vote for me this once, you don't worry about it, you won't have to vote again. In other words, if you only vote for me this one time and you never want to vote again, you don't have to vote for me. You don't have to vote again. Just vote for me this one time. Give me the endorsement. And if that's the only time that you people want to vote, give me the vote. He never told his constituents vote for him once, we never have to vote for him again. Not one time did he say that. But leave it up to the left to make it seem, because what they're going to do is spin it around and say, you see, he's saying you vote for me once, you'll never have to vote again because I'm going to be dictator. Because you know that's how they're going to spin it. And they've already spun it already like that. Let's continue.
Gobsmacked that guy, who during a deadly pandemic sent COVID tests badly needed by Americans to Vladimir Putin instead, is tied with the sitting vice president who's supported by Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and the Cheneys.
Okay, now I didn't understand what she said by that. We're going to go back a little bit. But the whole thing about the COVID test sending it to Vladimir Putin. Excuse me, Mrs. Reid, or Ms. Reid, whatever. When that pandemic came out, countries around the world were giving each other COVID tests and vaccines. As a matter of fact, a fun fact that the mainstream media won't talk about, and the information is out there, okay? I believe it was about 30 million doses of the vaccine after it was all paid for, taxpayer money, all the companies made their money, okay? The truth has come out that about 30 million vaccines were discarded because they expired. But nobody will talk about that. Why? Because number one, you have to talk about the fact of, wait a minute, if it expired, then how good can it be? And number two, if you threw all that out, okay, where's the money? Where's the reimbursement? Why, oh why, did the American government pay for 30 million COVID vaccines just for them to expire and get discarded? See, she won't talk about that. Oh no. That she won't talk about. But she'll say that Donald Trump sent COVID tests to Russia. Everybody, every country in the world, okay, was sending each other COVID tests, COVID vaccine, mask, you name it, they were doing it. Ventilators, whatever everybody had, because the way the Democrats pushed this damn panic mode button, okay, when the whole thing started. But let's continue.
Well, welcome to the rest of the rational world, who think not just Donald Trump, but maybe America itself has gone mad.
Huh.
It's not just Trump and the sacking of the Capitol, which, trust me, people outside this country have not forgotten. It's the Republic.
First of all, if you're going to say that people outside this country have not forgotten about the sacking of the Capitol, first of all, you're a moron, because the Capitol was never sacked. Okay? Get your words and the definitions and the meanings right. Sack meaning that that means that they took it over. That means that right now the Capitol should be under, okay, the power of the people. So you're a moron. Okay? That's number one. Number two, as an American citizen, who gives a shit what the rest of the world thinks about America? Okay? You actually think real American patriots care what another country thinks? We have our own problems, the same way they have their own problems. And in case you haven't really noticed, Mrs. Reid, Miss Reid, okay, there are all kinds of civil wars going around the world. So I highly doubt that anybody around the world has anything really to say about what happened January 6th. As if it's going to matter what their opinion is.
Republicans, federal and state, who are already vowing to refuse to certify the November election unless Trump wins.
Right.
Add to that the threat that a Republican-controlled Senate would confirm 40-year-old right-wing replacements for Justices Alito and Thomas,
Good.
meaning a far-right Supreme Court for the rest of our children's lives.
Good. You're making the right campaign for the Republicans, because to tell you the truth, for as much as I don't believe in censorship, but I do believe in rhetoric like yours that should be banned, maybe, just maybe, the Supreme Court will come out and say, you know what? You can stay on TV, on national TV, but you need to tone your shit down. Okay? You know, the party that talks about so much disinformation and misinformation, this is their number one mouthpiece.
Plus a national abortion ban and Project 2025.
Here we go.
You have the recipe for a fascist America, not just in 2025, but in 2055.
No, sorry, Mrs. Reid. We're already in a fascist America. You Democrats let groups like, I don't know, BLM run rampant. I don't know, Antifa run rampant. I don't know, all the pro-Palestinian protests run rampant. You people have done that. You people are the fascists. You people are the one, okay, where even Hillary Clinton's coming out, okay, and Tim Walz is coming out. His words saying that the First Amendment is not guaranteed, okay. Hillary Clinton coming out saying that they need to start, I'm just throwing in a couple of words, but basically to start muzzling social media platforms, okay. You people are the one that had Facebook donate nearly $800 million, okay, to the Democrat Party, and to this day, they're still censoring people on Facebook. You people were in charge before Elon Musk even owned Twitter, okay, where proof has come out in Congress, okay, that the Department of Justice worked in cahoots with Twitter back then to censor people. So who are the fascists that you are talking about?
Things are so bad. The House is refusing to come back into session to provide new additional hurricane aid. While at the same time in North Carolina, an armed man was arrested for making threats against FEMA workers, while federal aid workers had to pause working and move because of reports of armed militias. Okay, and maybe that's because Joe Biden and Kamala have let North Carolina, it's bad enough what they went through, but they are blocking people from getting help, and maybe the people and the armed militia, for as much as I'm against any kind of anybody being physically harmed, you know, the Constitution says that the people have the right to arm themselves and become a militia. And what's going on in North Carolina, okay, I don't think everybody knows all the details, so I can't even pretend like I know all the details, but if I had to guess, it's because the victims are fed up. Okay? But instead of you being the journalist that you are, and I don't know, get out of your little protective bubble and show some like balls and go out to North Carolina, go on the ground and really find out what's going on, to maybe try to bring both sides together and see, you won't even do that. You won't. You'll talk about this, that one man, what he did against FEMA workers, okay, but you won't talk about the guy that they just busted in California. They tried to get into a Trump convention over a couple of days ago, okay, armed, phony paperwork, phony license plate, phony passports, not passports, passports, plural, okay, and how California still let him go on a $5,000 bail. You won't talk about that. But you're going to say that Trump has something to do with this that's going on in North Carolina. Okay. Fueled by Trump and other Republicans' wild hurricane disinformation threatening them. At this point, you can't call... You know, this is the breaking point right here of the video, okay? She's saying that because of Trump's rhetoric and rhetoric from the right is bringing people in North Carolina to the breaking point that they're committing these acts, right? Two things. Number one, they don't have internet service. Okay? When Elon Musk sent his boy down there, okay, with Wi-Fi equipment, it was confiscated by FEMA. Okay? Starlink. Does that ring a bell? If they barely have any power and no Wi-Fi service, how are they able to watch all this rhetoric that you're talking about that Donald Trump and the right are feeding them? Or is it that since they have
their own cell phone service and they're trying to get as much Wi-Fi service as they can, they're taking their information and they're feeding us that information because it's true what's going on out there. But like I'm saying, people, leave it up to this mouthpiece, okay, to put out all this garbage without doing research. Because isn't that what the federal government's saying? That they're having a hard time rescuing? That the roads are all messed up? That there's no power? No cell phone towers? No Wi-Fi service? No internet? But they want to go and spin it around and saying that they're all upset because of what Trump is saying. I think those people have been through enough that if Trump was saying anything wrong, that they will counteract that and say, no, that's not what's going on. This is what's going on. Don't listen to Trump. Listen to us. We're the ones on the ground. But what they're saying is something totally different than what this woman is saying, but she's spinning it around. Nice try, Democrat.
All what Trump is running a campaign. As friend of the show David Korn points out in Mother Jones, what Trump and J.D. Vance and House and Senate Republicans are running is a massive disinformation campaign aimed at warping Americans' reality. And they're doing it with violent, terrifying, and sometimes bizarre conspiracy theories that set the table for maybe armed resistance to a Kamala Harris win or mass acceptance of American fascism.
I love the way she says that, and the left has been talking about this armed resistance for so long. I mean, even to the damn point that Obama put out that video on Netflix. If anybody hasn't seen it, go see it. If you watch this video, you know for a fact it's almost as if it is a trigger fairy tale. Okay? Excuse me. As if trying to trigger the left to act out what is in that movie. That movie is so, I mean, you have to sit there and watch that movie and be like, you know what, as soon as this movie is done, I could never watch it again. All it shows, okay, is hate from the left, and they project it and try to make it seem as if it's coming from the right. It is vicious. Okay, why Netflix would even let that movie play, it doesn't even matter, because I left Netflix. I just dropped them 2 years ago. I was done with them. But the left keep talking about this civil war, armed militias, systemic white racism, and all these damn trigger words. And here she is using it again, talking about, there could be an armed resistance. Why, Reid? Is that what you want? Do you want armed resistance? Because the only people that keep talking about it and keep spewing it are people on the left. What your fucking problem is that nobody from the right is stupid enough, okay, to fall into your traps. You want people on the right to jump. But we love life and we love this country way too much, okay, to let you people on the left destroy it. You may be able to drag people in and keep brainwashing them, but it burns your ass and your overlords' asses that nobody from the right has jumped. And thank the Lord Jesus Christ for that.
Trump and Republicans, backed by far right-wing billionaires like Elon Musk, and right-wing media and anti-woman manosphere podcasts are creating social media or gaming social media apps like X Twitter in Trump's favor and pumping disinformation into the brains of Trump supporters.
Did you say anything when Twitter wasn't owned by Elon? Once again, and the proof has come out by Elon letting out the files after he bought Twitter, that the Department of Justice was working in cahoots with Twitter and with Facebook? You mean that kind of rhetoric, that kind of misinformation, that kind of power? Is that what you're talking about? And now you're upset because now Elon Musk pretty much just opened up Pandora's box on X and say, you know what, people, here's all the information, but now you're going to go and try to spin it and make it seem like he's the one suppressing the words, suppressing people's ideas, people's opinions, and that's not even the case. Like I said, as of today, still as of up to this moment, Facebook is still doing it, even after Zuckerberg said that he was not going to be bothered with the politics anymore. People are still being censored on Facebook. Let's continue.
Not quite foreign interference, but not exactly different from what Vladimir Putin would do. Mm-hmm. And in many ways, the disinformation campaign is working. Base Republicans today believe everything from Democrats secretly manipulating the weather from a secret base in Alaska to Trump being incapable of losing this election. He's winning in a landslide. And some Democrats are starting to believe the disinformation too.
No, it's not that they're starting to believe the information. They know that it's true, because the ones that believe it are the ones that are leaving because of your lies. Okay? You gave Kamala Harris this honeymoon moment. You try to beef it up so damn much, and it was all lies. And now since the truth is coming out, you can't control it anymore. And that's what burns your ass.
Have you noticed how sharply the polls have shifted in Trump's favor over the last couple weeks? With these claims that Trump is surging with Black and Latino voters and leading in every single swing state, according to secret internal polls, despite all the Hitler talk. Yes, this race will be far too close. Because unfortunately, we do have a fascist groundswell in parts of this country, mainly among white men, let's be clear.
There we go.
But in small pockets among Black and brown men too.
See, there you go. There's a fascist movement among mainly white men and small pockets of Blacks and Latinos. So this woman, to any of you lefties out there that are listening, she's basically calling people in the Black and Latino community fascist for voting for Trump. But didn't a lot of Blacks and Latinos vote for Bill and Hillary, vote Biden in? They're white. Right. Okay. Me personally, as a Native American Latino born and raised in the Bronx, that votes for Trump, that supports Trump, okay? Let me be the first to say, Joy Reid, kiss my ass.
Happens to be a global phenomenon as women become more economically independent and seek positions of power.
Oh, let me go back. This is why she's saying why Blacks and Latinos, okay, are voting for Trump. Listen to this analogy.
This happens to be a global phenomenon as women become more economically...
Sorry, let me go back just a bit.
We do have a fascist groundswell in parts of this country, mainly among white men, let's be clear, but in small pockets among Black and brown men too. This happens to be a global phenomenon as women become more economically independent and seek positions.
So she's saying that the global phenomenon for men, okay, white, Black, and brown, are leaving the left is because more women are becoming more empowered. Right.
Positions of power. But friend of the show Simon Rosenberg points out that just like in 2020 and 2022, dozens of right-wing polls have been dumped into the marketplace in the last few weeks, 12 in Pennsylvania alone. Those polls then swing the polling averages to the right, making Trump look strong and Kamala Harris look stalled. Now, there are lots of explanations for why you'd want to game the polls. Entrepreneurial Republican pollsters can certainly gain favor with Trump, who's apparently fuming about Vice President Harris's billion-dollar fundraising and positive press. And then there's the more sinister explanation that if Trump, Republican pollsters, and even jittery Democrats convince enough people that his victory is inevitable, How much easier would it be to claim that the election was stolen if he loses? And how much easier would it be to get his base to rise up and maybe even get violent the way they did when he lost the last time? How much easier would it be?
No, another lie. First of all, they did not get violent. The proof has already been put out that there was FBI plants inside the crowd, okay, where they even had to question Christopher Wray and the rest of them, and they're all trying to keep it hush hush. They've been in front of Congress for nearly the past 2 years, but you're still going to come out and push that narrative. Not one person, okay, that was a Trump supporter went and tried to get rowdy at the Capitol, okay? That was something that was cited, that was instigated by people on the left, and it got out of control, okay? But here they go. Well, I should say, I am going to say here they go, because like I said, they're using this one as a mouthpiece. How this woman, people, can be let on air with all this, or just period, how she has not gotten fired is beyond me. Her bank account must be just busting at the seams. For this woman to sit there and just spin all this around, okay? And now again, talking about that he's going to get violent just in case he loses. Why are you... Why would you even say something like that? Okay? Because last I checked, let's just push January 6th to the side, because we all know that was a farce. When was the last time, and this question is not to her because she knows the answer to this. This question is to everybody out there watching this video. When was the last time anybody seen a group of Republicans, okay, go crazy in the streets the way Antifa has, Black Lives Matter has, whatever protests have been out there for pro-Palestine, for George Floyd? Has anybody seen any groups of Republicans, white supremacists or anything like that, or even the black and brown fascists? Has anybody seen anything like that? Because I know I haven't. And she knows it. Okay? All of the mainstream media knows it. The Democrats know it. But they just keep using words saying that things like this are happening when it's not happening.
To get the Republican House Speaker or John Roberts and the right-wing Supreme Court conservatives to throw the election to Trump. These are the things we need to consider, because Donald Trump is not running a normal election. He's talking America into damn near a civil war to terrify.
Here we go. Once again, with the trigger words. She said armed resistance. Okay, what was the other one? She said uprising, or whatever the case is, or take it into their own hands. She's talking about civil war. Why are you you're talking about that Trump is stoking fear. Look at what you're doing. Look at what you're saying. Not one time in any of Trump's speeches, his rallies, anything like that, did I ever watch it, okay, and think that he was saying things that will stoke a civil war. All that rhetoric comes from people like you and the left. It's as if that's what you people want. And here's the thing. I'm not the only one that thinks like this. Many people have been talking about this for the longest and saying this. That they feel that what the Democrats want is a civil war.
Voters into supporting him. And if that doesn't work, he's laying the groundwork for Insurrection 2.0. I'm joined now by Ruth Ben-Ghiat.
Now, we don't have to listen to anybody else. I mean, or your bullshit was enough. But if anybody wants to watch the rest, it's about another 3 or 4 minutes. I mean, for the sake of time and for me not to listen to this woman's garbage anymore, okay, I'm going to end it right here. And you guys can go. I mean, all you got to do is look at the name of the video is Radicalization Campaign. That's on the MSNBC or the readout. Just punch it in. You'll see it. Okay, if you can stomach it. But there you go, people. This woman comes back from vacation. Okay. her first time on air, and she throws this meltdown out, changing and spinning everything around, thinking that she is hurting the Republicans and empowering the Democrats. What she's actually doing, she's actually making the case, okay, for open-minded Democrats to make a choice and say, you know what? I've seen enough. I'm leaving the Democrat Party. I'm done with all this pandering. I'm done with all this garbage. And whether they vote for Trump or independent, I mean, at this point, it doesn't matter, because the Democrats know that they're losing. Okay? They gave Kamala Harris, like I said, her honeymoon moment. Okay? But when they realize, wait a minute, we can't keep this up because she's just not fit to even talk to anyone. She doesn't know what the hell she's saying. She's out there spreading lies and rumors, and people are noticing. Now we got to spin this around and blame it on Trump, that he is now brainwashing and eating the minds of open-minded people, okay, mainly blacks and Latinos in America, who have been thinking like this and knowing this for the longest, that they're like, you know what? As we're getting closer to the election, the Democrats are making it easier for us to leave. Okay? And it's not just with Kamala Harris, what she's doing, or what Joy Reid is putting out. It has to do with what the women talk about on The View. I don't know, let me see. Eric Adams, Brandon Johnson, Gavin Newsom, what's happening in Colorado. It doesn't take a rocket scientist for people to look at this in all these states, Springfield, Ohio, wherever it's at, and say, you know what? No, Trump has nothing to do with all this chaos. All this chaos is coming from the Biden regime, and Kamala wants to keep it going. Because what a lot of people are actually saying now, and the way they're questioning the Democrats on it, is, why haven't you done it already? The video that I put out showed that Kamala Harris was talking about doing this stuff back in 2019 when she wanted to become president. She didn't get her way. She became vice president. Why didn't you and Biden do it together? You haven't. But now you're running on the campaign, okay, that when you become president, you're going to do it. And since everybody's saying, we're not going to vote you in, you had your chance. You flooded the country with criminals. They're taking over our neighborhoods. They're destroying our lives. And you want us to wait till you become president? Why haven't you done it? Why don't you do it? You still have time. And that's because they're not going to do it. They don't want to do it. And more people are waking up that, you know what? We're done with the promises, what I was saying yesterday, okay? That they keep trying to tell people, I promise you this, I promise you this, but they're not kept. You know? None of their promises that they said that they were going to do. And it just doesn't, this doesn't go back 3.5 years. No, this goes back to 2008. Because none of those promises were kept either. 8 years straight. Donald Trump came in, got a foothold and said, you know what, this is what we got to do. People started seeing it. You still push the pandering. Okay? The misinformation. His whole 4 years. Promising everybody, we're going to get him out. He can't win. You guys won, supposedly. Nothing's changed. It's gotten worse. And it has nothing to do with Trump and the Republicans. It has to do with you. With you people on the Democrat side. People like you, Joy Reid. That's why Kamala's not going to win. That's why the Democrats are not going to win. That's why they're losing. Because you promised too much and you didn't keep your promises. You lied too much and you wind up taking from one and giving to the others. You left your people in the dust. The only ones that are hanging around are the ones that are too brainwashed to think for themselves. And that's why you're trying to get to the young people. That's why you have people like Barack Obama out there scolding young black men as if they're supposed to vote for Kamala because she's supposedly black. What you forgot is that there's a lot more smart people out there than you think. They were trying to give you a chance, and you blew it. This has nothing to do with Trump, nothing to do with fascism, nothing to do with that. Because all those things, all those lies, all that pandering, all that fascism, all that communism, all that socialism, all that, that's coming from the left. You people are doing it. With your censorship, your lies, open borders, pushing constituents to the side, giving money to illegals, doing everything that you're saying that Trump is going to do, you people are doing it. And people are waking up and noticing it. Okay? And more people are waking up noticing it. And they're done. So you can have your little meltdown and try to blame all this on Trump and the fascist Republicans and the new wave of blacks and Latinos that are fascist, like you like to say. Okay? Or like you just said, I should say. But no, that has nothing to do with it. It has everything to do with the Democrats. So thank you for the great Trump, the new Trump campaign ad. Because anybody with half a brain will look at this and say, you know what? No. Not this time. I'm done. And they have every right to feel like that. Plain and simple. But anyway, that's what I got for you. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, pass the channel around. And if you can help support the channel, I'll leave a link in my description to my Cash App and my merch store. I'm also leaving a link again to Loza Alexander's Gifts and Go campaign. Also, right quickly, I want to thank all my new subscribers and all my subscribers here on YouTube and on Rumble. Again, if you're new to the channel, you like what you see, go and check out my other content. Join the channel. Everyone, give this a thumbs up. It helps with the algorithm. I know a lot of my videos are long. It's just the way it is. Okay? Anybody that's been on my channel knows. I thank you all for liking the content and commenting. Leave comments, thumbs up, and join the channel and help this movement grow. Because what the Democrats want is to take total control. What us American patriots want is our freedom back. Okay? That's what we want. So remember, people, stay vigilant. Keep praying. Keep praying for each other. Keep praying for the women and the children. Pray for this country. Pray for your enemies. Pray for Donald Trump. And don't forget to get out there and vote. Peace.